water year.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
On a Friday morning, I'm Rod Hill. So far, we've seen scattered showers and the shower passes, and we get sun breaks, and then another shower comes in. We've got a little bit of rain passing through Portland right now. If you take a closer look at this, it's definitely scattered showers. We had some heavier rain in the Coast Range a bit ago, but that's now cleared out. And in fact, we've got a sunbreak up in Lincoln City currently from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. A little bit of brightness, but overall pretty cloudy. We've had some showers along the Columbia. That's the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront location. So this is our lingering shower morning. The number of showers this afternoon becomes fewer, and I really think by 5 o'clock today we're mainly dry. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures will be in the 50s. Not a bad day. All dry tonight, and for the first time in a month, no rain this weekend. Partly cloudy tomorrow and 60. Mostly sunny, 63 on Sunday. Now, east winds will start to blow, so the typical spots coming out of the gorge expected to see some gusts to about 30 miles per hour, especially going into Sunday.
Now at 8 o'clock, flight cancellations at airports all across the country, including PDX, because of the government shutdown. Coming up, tips on what to do if your flight is canceled or delayed.
And some Oregonians say that they've already seen their SNAP cards reload after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to issue November payments in full. Plus,
for the very first time ever, welcome to the stage, your Seattle Torrent!
What does that name mean? The Seattle Torrent. This is a new professional women's hockey team calling the Northwest home. We're going to have details behind that name, the Seattle Torrent, as we kick off the 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Rodney Hill entering the mix. You think the Seattle Torrent is a nod to the torrential rain we've seen this week here in the Northwest, Rod?
Could be. Could be.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a tough sport, hockey. Closest thing to rugby, I've always thought, right? Here's a look at our shower activity moving in. This is a day of lingering showers this morning, becoming fewer in number this afternoon. And then eventually later today, going into this evening, I think we'll be completely dry from the coast, southwest Washington, across all of Oregon. It's been quite bright already this morning over our state capitol, and you can see we're losing the leaves there, but still some colors showing up. We're at 50 degrees, so another very mild start. Now, in just the past bit of time, we've seen some showers pass over Portland, so currently cloudy. There's the rain report out along the Columbia River in 51. This is a pretty nice Friday, though. Nothing organized, just decreasing numbers of scattered showers. By 5 o'clock, I think we probably are dry. 55 degrees the temperature then. Weekend still looks to be completely dry, by the way, and we'll have your weekend numbers for you coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
Thank you, Rod. New this morning, out of Portland Centennial neighborhood, a deadly crash as part of Southeast Division shutdown. Police say just before 3 this morning, an officer spotted 2 cars driving recklessly near Southeast 119th and Division. Before the officer could even turn the lights, both cars took off. And a few minutes later, one of them crashed into a utility pole at 148th and Division. The driver died at the scene. The intersection is still closed. The second car got away and hasn't been found. Anyone who saw what happened or has other information that could help should contact Portland Police.
Government shutdown headlines this morning start with start of flight cancellations all around the country.
PDX is among 40 major airports where airlines have been required by the FAA to cut back flights. So those cuts will be phased in, starting with a 4% reduction in flights today and ramping up to 10% within a week. All commercial airlines will be affected, through international flights will not be impacted. The Transportation Secretary says this is about keeping people safe as air traffic controllers are pushed to work without pay, plus ongoing staffing shortages. So Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson is live at PDX for us. Corey, what's it like for travelers this morning?
Well, Drew, China, at least a dozen flights were canceled this morning here at PDX, and a dozen more delayed for us at this time. Now, the lines were very long early this morning. They've since thinned out, but a lot of people arrived very early to the airport, telling us that they got here because they didn't know what to expect, so they wanted to give themselves even more time if their flight was indeed canceled. Now, more than 800 U.S. flights overall have been canceled today, according to FlightAware. That's 4 times the number of U.S. cancellations a day earlier. So what happens if your flight ends up getting canceled? Federal officials are requiring all airlines to issue full refunds for those flights, but keep in mind it will be up to the carriers to decide which flights exactly are going to be canceled while the shutdown continues. Here at PDX, among those flights canceled this morning were from Southwest in Alaska heading to Denver, San Jose, Sacramento, LA, as well as Seattle. Now, travelers also say cancellations are already impacting their plans for their families.
They backed out actually because they were so worried about getting stuck in between where they were going to switch planes in Dallas, and they couldn't take the risk. But we decided that we're going to give it a shot, and I'm not so worried about getting there, is coming home.
Now, a lot of people, as that traveler mentioned, they're not concerned about traveling out of PDX, but coming home. Will their flights be canceled? Will they not? That's a question that's on the minds of many that we talked to this morning. Also, something travelers are thinking about. The Thanksgiving holiday is quickly approaching. Many people tell us they may opt to drive instead, even though their tickets, if their flights are canceled, will be refunded. They say they don't want to take the risk. Drew, China.
All right, Corey Johnson live for us this morning there at the Portland Airport. Now, there's been some talk this week about a solution to the shutdown being worked out behind closed doors in D.C., but the bottom line is it's not over yet, and this is day 38.
Republicans want to extend current funding temporarily, while Democrats are pushing to renew expiring Obamacare subsidies as premiums rise. Some Senate Democrats may back a short-term deal to end the shutdown if it guarantees a future vote on health care, but others refuse to move forward without a clear health care win. All right, we're tracking update this morning for local SNAP recipients. In just the last 20 minutes, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek announced Oregonians now have access to full November SNAP benefits.
Just earlier this morning, NBC News was reporting that the Trump administration asked a federal appeals court for an emergency pause on a federal judge's order to fully fund SNAP benefits this month. Now, we've already heard from a handful of KGW viewers. They told us their SNAP cards have been reloaded, and the posts online indicate that those payments, again, have included full benefits for the month. Local food pantries are also busy this week, though, trying to keep up with demand from people still looking to get by. We visited William Temple House in Northwest Portland yesterday. So the nonprofit says they've actually seen a record number of people lining up for food so far this month. The nonprofit is extending its hours and says that no one will leave there empty-handed. They're also asking for donations of food and cash so that they can continue to help people in need.
And on Straight Talk, we're also looking at another local nonprofit that's having a hard time keeping up with the demand for food during the uncertainty around SNAP. Meals on Wheels helps older adults in Portland who are often homebound by delivering food and other services. And since last week, the organization says hundreds of new seniors have called asking for help.
In fact, one of my client services told me this morning, the phone's on fire, right? Can't keep up with it. We're enrolling people as fast as we can.
Washington says people have not been turned away, but with increasing demand, they are in need of community support. That can include volunteering, donating food, or donating money. You can watch the full interview on Straight Talk this weekend, Monday evening or anytime on KGW+. In Hillsborough, the Salvation Army Washington County Hope Center received a 30,000-pound food donation. The nonprofit says it's seen a nearly 72% increase in food box distribution, and the need is growing. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints donated all the food. They say it'll help feed local families at their new Client Choice food pantries. And if you need assistance, the pantry is located at the Hope Center. The address is on your screen.
Oregon's Supreme Court has finally taken up the state's voter-approved gun control law. We're talking about Measure 114, which was challenged at both the state and federal levels and put on hold shortly after it passed in 2022. Now, this law requires a few things. Training for a permit to buy guns, number one. It also gets rid of a loophole that allows dealers to skip waiting for background checks if those checks take longer than 3 days. And finally, it restricts high-capacity magazines to no more than 10 rounds. Now, that restriction was a big part of yesterday's arguments.
The way that the technology operates now allowed the Las Vegas shooter to fire more than 100 rounds in a minute.
The fact of the matter is the Constitution of Oregon and the United States applies to things that did not exist when the document was written.
The state Supreme Court will decide if Measure 114 is or is not constitutional, although we don't know how long that ruling will take. We do know this. The Oregon Sports Hall of Fame has 5 new members this morning. KGW's Orlando Sanchez, not inducted, but he did host last night's awards in Beaverton. Now, before getting to the Hall of Fame inductees, the event recognized 9 local athletes and coaches as Athletes and Coaches of the Year. They included Oregon State gymnast Jade Carey right there, and University of Oregon softball coach Melissa Lombardi right there. She led the Ducks to the College Softball World Series this year.
It was an unbelievable year. We didn't get exactly all the way to the end, but what I think about is just the blueprint that they laid and version 7 and just what an unbelievable special team they are.
And now we'll look at the Hall of Fame inductees, including track star Galen Rupp, wheelchair basketball Paralympian Susie Grimes, 3-time national title basketball player Lori Milligan, the entire 2015 Timbers team, and there's Jerry Allen, the voice of the Ducks since 1987. We put together a profile on each inductee. You can watch their stories on our KGW YouTube page.
All right, Seattle, for the very first time ever, welcome to the stage, your Seattle Torrents!
Seattle's professional women's hockey team will be called the Seattle Torrent. The PWHL made a big reveal during a ceremony yesterday in Seattle, showing off the team's new logo and colors. The team says Torrent draws inspiration from the powerful waterways that shape and connect Washington's unique landscape.
So together, with your support, we will carve our path just as a torrent does and establish ourselves as a force to be reckoned with in this league. So let's go Torrent!
The Torrent's home opener is at Climate Pledge Arena on November 28th.
So you know the Climate Pledge Arena is also the home of the Kraken, right?
Yep.
So now we've got the men's team and the women's team. But that arena was built without a doubt to host both a basketball team and hockey teams. And they have the locker room, apparently the locker room space all set aside for an NBA basketball team, but it just has not happened yet for Seattle.
Well, come on, basketball. That's got to happen again, don't you think, Drew?
I would adapt. It's the one of the 10 top cities in the country.
Yeah.
So yes, I would think so.
Got to happen again. My big story right now is a dry break. I like to put my yellow straight lines on, kind of the railroad tracks, showing you this moisture is going to hold off. The moisture coming inland is going to be ending. Here's our weekend right there in the dry window. And there is no rain chance tomorrow, no rain chance on Sunday. We haven't had a completely dry weekend in a month, so I hope you can get outdoors and enjoy. Should have some sun to go with it and some nice temperatures as well. Now, today is a scattered shower day, kind of lingering shower day on the back end of our 2-day rain and to some degree wind event that we've had the last couple of days. Still some pretty good showers. I mean, there's some moderate to heavier rain passing through Gaston right now. Currently, it's dry over downtown Portland, but the bricks are wet from passing showers overnight and passing showers this morning as well. Providence Park, still nice fall colors out, but you can definitely see we've been losing some leaves. 48 degrees with a raindrop reported. Temperatures are comfortable. We're a little cooler than the last couple of days, but not by much. I mean, it's 47 Happy Valley, Sandy, and Battleground, so still very pleasant really stepping out the door this morning. 48 in Dallas, 50 degrees in Salem. The scattered shower threat, basically I think statewide, the number of showers during the day becomes fewer, more widely scattered, and then by evening we're all dry and the rain will be all over. Generally 50 or warmer. We have Portland at 57. And then here's your weekend. Tomorrow partly sunny, 60. Now east winds will start to develop overnight tonight. Those will be gusty this weekend, especially Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning to about 30 coming out of the gorge. But if you live in a spot where you're blocked from the east wind flow, then you'll just have light winds this weekend. Mostly sunny and 63 on Sunday. calm wind areas Sunday morning could be down to the 30s, out of Portland at 44. And then the next shower chance shows up Monday afternoon, but none of this looks to be much rain. So lots of dry time Monday, lots of dry time Tuesday, lots of dry time Wednesday. The next day that just looks rainy to me is Thursday of next week. And that is your update. By the way, Cascade passes are just wet. They're fine this morning for your travel. Back to you.
Copy that, Rob. Hey, I know Rob will be interested in this story because the man likes to save a few dollars here and there. We're talking about Thanksgiving dinner on a budget thanks to Amazon's $25 Thanksgiving meal deal. You're thinking, what's in that? Like a roll and maybe a slice of turkey? No, there's actually quite a lot. We're going to explain what's in the meal straight ahead. Also coming up.
Mandatory flight reductions beginning today at busy airports from coast to coast because of staffing shortages from the government shutdown. I'm Alice Barr in Washington. The latest on what that means for you coming up, as well as potential relief for the millions of Americans who count on federal food assistance.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Amazon is offering a new Thanksgiving meal deal that will feed 5 people for just $25. The meal includes an 8-pound frozen butterball turkey, pre-made mashed potatoes, gravy, green bean casserole, crescent rolls, and cranberry relish. You can also get a choice of pecan, pumpkin, sweet potato pie. You can place your order for the meal starting next Wednesday. Walmart and Target are also offering their own holiday meals ranging from $20 to $40.
I know you're skeptical about this, Rod.
I am skeptical, yes.
You know, can it really feed, say, 5 people for $25? But even if you got 2 of those, you know, for $50,
yeah,
it still would be a good deal. I'm going to say it would be a good deal if you got it all the way up to, I mean, when I take my kids to eat sushi, which they love, it's just the 3 of us. And I'm not even drinking any alcohol. But I am leaving a tip, of course. Still, that's over $100 for the 3 of us at the sushi, and it's not not a fancy sushi restaurant either.
Well, I'm going to make the assumption that Walmart and Amazon, these companies, are doing this kind of as a promotion for their companies more than anything. They're not making any money on this. I wouldn't
they take
think
a loss on it. You're probably right.
At that price.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's just hope it's decent. Nothing is worse for business than a bad meal promotion. Let's hope it's a good meal promotion. Here's a look at our Thursday wind gust reports. This was, I think it's fair to say, it's unexpected. We didn't have warnings up. I stood here 24 hours ago and told you the winds would not be as strong yesterday as they were Wednesday. That was a correct statement for the valley, but not the beach. There was a wind burst between 1 and 2:30 yesterday afternoon at the coast. That's when that second system, the one that brought us the steady rain the back half of yesterday, started to move inland. Accompanied with a strong jet stream aloft, and the winds just popped. Astoria had a 66 gust, Newport 63 at the Uquinna Bay Bridge. This was, I think, 2 miles outside of Garibaldi, so near Garibaldi. 79-mile-per-hour gust was clocked on an anemometer, and Timberline at 7,000 feet had a 53-mile-per-hour wind gust. Now, the good news is I've not seen reports put out from the Weather Service of any wind damage, because obviously those are all spots accustomed to getting wind. But I feel bad that we didn't give you a heads up on that. All right, jet stream still feeding into us. All this is the jet stream right here. Still feeding into us this morning, and it's playing a role in the scattered showers lingering that's still feeding in off the Pacific. But we say ridging, and this is a perfect example when we talk about dry weather. See how everything arcs up around us? That's the ridging. And the storm systems out here literally hit a wall of this ridge, and they stay out in the Pacific, and then we get into a dry weather pattern. That's your weekend. Here's the next weather system. It's going to hit that wall I just showed you. It's going to stay out. And after the lingering showers eventually fade away later today, which they will be all dry for your Saturday and your Sunday. Now, there are some heavy rain pockets. This was mostly light rain showers, but see the bright colors? Now we're up some heavier rain showers. Gaston, there's some decent rain. Starting the heaviest stuff moving away from you. Currently dry in downtown Portland down through Sherwood, but a new shower has moved into Beaverton. And then dancing around all the showers are sunbreaks. Here's Snookwinds Casino Resort in Lincoln City, looking at some blue sky there. The seas are still rough, by the way, coming in. What was the marine forecast? 13 to 14 feet today, I think. The high seas bumping in, so keep an eye on that. Sunbreak over the vineyard from the Salem Tasting Room out in Sherwood. Temps are still comfortable this morning. 50 Salem, 51 Portland. It's 50 out in the Dalles as well. Good morning to you folks. Here is the coast forecast, which is almost identical to the valley. Temperatures mid to upper 50s, all dry late today. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Again, in the valley, I think we'll be dry by evening, and that sets the stage for an all dry, partly cloudy 60 degrees Sunday, an all dry, mostly sunny 63 degrees Sunday. East winds start to blow overnight tonight. They'll be gusty coming out of the gorge to about 30 by Saturday afternoon, if not sooner, and then into Sunday. A little bit of rain on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but really not much until Thursday. First completely dry weekend in a month. Hope you enjoy it. Back to you.
The crowd goes wild. Thank you, Rod. All right, still ahead here on Sunrise, a closer look at Portland's newly reinstated camping ban, what the numbers suggest 1 week into this new city order.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Now to an update on Portland's camping ban enforcement, which just resumed this past weekend. So city data shows that there were 40 arrests, mostly for existing warrants. But outreach teams gave 83 warnings, 7 citations, and connected 39 people to shelters. Mayor Keith Wilson says that the goal is to keep people, to give people help and not just arrest them. The city notes police can write a ticket if a person declines the offer of available shelter while camped on public property or in the right-of-way. Rob Lane from Portland Solutions says enforcement can resume as the city expands shelter space.
It's not going to be the solution to all homelessness, but what it is it's a life-saving intervention to keep people from dying.
In a statement, the mayor said that he is proud of the job outreach workers and officers have done. Currently, the city is offering 880 overnight beds, and Lane says last week they averaged 76% occupancy.
All right, we're tracking flight delays all across the U.S. this morning. The FAA, of course, slashed flights this week at 40 of the busiest airports in the country because of staffing issues caused by the government shutdown.
At the same time, there could be some relief coming for millions of Americans who count on federal food assistance. Alice Barr has the latest.
This morning, two major headlines driving home the consequences of the nation's longest government shutdown. Air travelers feeling the effects of a reduction in flights beginning today at 40 busy airports because of staffing shortages.
People are just waiting. It's been awful.
While more than 40 million Americans waiting for SNAP food assistance benefits to feed their families.
It's an avalanche.
Are getting some backup from a federal judge ordering the Trump administration to fully fund the program by today. The White House has been processing partial payments and is appealing the ruling.
In the midst of a shutdown, we can't have a federal court telling the president how he has to triage the situation.
But the judge said the lapse in payments should have been avoided, accusing the administration of ignoring his last order to quickly restart payments and of withholding them for political reasons, citing President Trump's Tuesday post threatening to stop benefits until Democrats agreed to end the shutdown. All as long lines at food banks across the country demonstrate the urgent need.
I work and then I have to get out of work so I can make a line over here to get some food and then take it home, and then, we have to do a lot of extra things.
Back at airports, more long lines and growing frustration.
Come to an agreement and get this government working.
The cutback in flights starting at 4% today to reduce strain on the system, while air traffic controllers working without pay call out to work other jobs. If the shutdown drags on, the FAA planning to reduce flights by 6% Tuesday and 10% next Friday to ensure top safety.
We're expecting another vote as soon as today on short-term funding to reopen the government. Though fueled by election wins, Democrats are increasing demands for negotiations on health care costs that they say could yield an agreement within minutes. Republicans arguing they'll talk health care once the government's reopened. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Let's get to some other national headlines here with your morning rush. Dallas Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland has died after an apparent suicide. Police in Texas say Kneeland led them on a chase after failing to pull over for a traffic stop. At one point, they lost sight of his car. Then they found it crashed and Kneeland was gone. He was found dead Thursday morning with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was only 24 years old. Investigators are working to determine what caused a massive fire at the home of Miami Heat coach and Portland native Eric Spoelstra. Fire officials in Florida say no one was home at the time. Property records show Spoelstra bought this home in 2023 for $6 million. Tesla CEO Elon Musk may soon add trillionaire to his title. That's after company shareholders overwhelmingly voted to approve the largest CEO pay package in corporate history. The company's general counsel confirmed over 75, yeah, he's dancing all right. The company's general counsel confirmed over 75% of shareholders backed the deal at the annual meeting. So he's not going to get this as one massive payout, God forbid. The deal is worth up to $1 trillion over the span of 10 years. So, he'll have to wait for it. He's banking on robotics and robo-taxis to secure the historic compensation.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. Tigard City Council has voted to donate up to $10,000 of its funding to address food instability in Tigard. The city will provide the funds as a match to donations from local businesses and the community. The money will be given to Packed with Pride, a food support program by the Foundation for Tigard Tualatin Schools in partnership with the school district and Oregon Food Bank. All right, Rob, what do you have for us in the Weather Center?
I think it's going to turn out to be a pretty nice day. We have what we refer to as lingering showers on the back end of the two-day kind of rain/wind event that we have been dealing with. Some pretty good showers. McMinnville now getting wet. Hillsboro, there's a shower up passing through Clark County. We have some breaks as well, though. There's Lincoln City. And here's it was a little bit of brightness when I loaded this camera. Now it's back to being overcast from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha. 51 is the current temperature. This will be decreasing showers during the day. Should be all dry by evening. And for the first time of the month, we have a completely dry Saturday and a completely dry Sunday. I think both weekend days could hit 60 degrees. East winds start to develop tonight. Those will become breezy to gusty in the usual spots.
All right, so it may not be Thanksgiving, but Christmas preps are already here. We're taking a look at the hometown for this year's Rockefeller Christmas tree, which is not sure right now.
It's and it's in upstate New York. I know that. Upstate New York is the where the tree originated. It is making its way to New York City. They're going to put it up this weekend, and of course they'll light it at some point. I heard something about 5 miles worth of lights to go all around that tree, LED lights. But yeah, upstate New York, the original home of the tree.
Remember, was it last week we had this piece of video? We showed the tree, and it was sitting next to a garage. Do you remember this? And it was a beautiful tree. And I'm like, I can't imagine myself wanting to donate my own beautiful tree like that. Yeah, I guess somebody has to do it.
They share it with the world, Rod.
Yeah.
At least the city.
Maybe I'm just not a sharer.
I know that. I'm well aware of this. Share a forecast? Will you do that much for us?
Here we go. We have scattered. It was a beautiful tree right next to the garage. It was Norman Rockwell beautiful out there. We have scattered showers feeding in. These will be decreasing showers during the day. And this evening, we should be completely dry across our state. There are also some showers out in parts of Baker County and down into parts of Harney County as well, it looks like this morning. This is still beautiful. Now we're getting some sunlight on the Capitol Mall, and the colors, even though we've lost some leaves, still really, really pretty. Salem's been pretty bright this morning. Been sunny more than not. 50 is your current temperature. Portland's been kind of the opposite. Some sun breaks, but more cloudy than not, and we've had a few passing showers just over the past hour. In fact, still some rain out at the Columbia River, 51 degrees out at PDX. So this is the day with decreasing showers. I think by this evening, surface high pressure kind of rolls in, light winds, and we should be completely dry. High temperatures today will be in the 50s. I have Portland getting up to 57. I mentioned the showers out east will be ending as well. And statewide, not everybody's up into the 50s, but most are. This shows Sun River at 47. Notice Timberline chilly 30. Cascade Passes are fine this morning. They're just wet. And here's a look at our 7-day forecast. Timberline does have 2 inches of new snow, by the way. 57 today. Here's that dry weekend, first time in a month. 60 tomorrow, 63 Sunday. East winds start to push tonight. They'll be gusty coming out of the gorge to 30 miles per hour over the weekend. But a lot of us will just have light winds or 5 to 15. And then we have shower chances returning Monday afternoon, but none of this amounts to much. So lots of dry time overall, I think on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And the next day that looks pretty rainy out there actually is all the way to Thursday of next week, and that is your forecast.
All right, thank you, Rod. As we roll into day 38 of the government shutdown, we're tracking the beginning of flight cancellations this morning all around the country.
PDX is among 40 major airports where airlines have been required by the FAA to cut back flights. Those cuts will be phased in, starting with a 4% reduction in flights today and ramping up 10% within a week. All commercial airlines will be affected, though international flights will not be impacted. The Transportation Secretary says this is about keeping people safe as air traffic controllers are pushed to work without pay, plus ongoing staffing shortages. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson has the latest from PDX.
Well, according to FlightAware, at least 12 flights have been canceled here at PDX, while about 13 at least have been delayed so far this morning. And Alaska has the majority of those canceled flights out of Portland International. Now, more than 1,100 flights across the U.S. have been canceled today, according to FlightAware. If your flight does end up getting canceled, airlines are required to issue you a full refund. Delta says it plans to scratch 170 flights today, and American plans to slash about 220 a day through Monday. Now, we talked to one woman headed to vacation this morning who says not only is she not being paid right now because her job is impacted by the government shutdown, but her flight is likely delayed too. With Thanksgiving approaching, she says she and her family are not exactly sure what to expect.
I was a little worried because we're going on vacation and we just booked, we have a 5.5-hour flight, and so we're really happy we didn't do a layover, and so it's just a straight through flight. We're from the Midwest, so I know a lot of airports in the Midwest right now are shut down, and yeah, so it really sucks. But holidays will look a little different, I'm sure, for everyone right now. So.
The flights canceled this morning out of PDX impact people who are heading to Sacramento, San Jose, Seattle, LA, and Denver. Back to you.
And as flight cancellations and delays pile up, it's important to know your rights as a traveler. For starters, airlines will be required to refund flight costs.
Yeah, but airlines do not have to cover hotel costs or meals for people when domestic flights are disrupted, even if the airline is actually responsible. KGW's Christine Pitawanich has more on how to navigate flight delays and cancellations.
First, we want to note that the top 3 airlines with the most flights at PDX, we're talking Alaska, Southwest, and Delta, are all offering some kind of flexibility for travelers who rebook or cancel their flights. But no matter what airline you're flying, it's really helpful to keep these 3 things in mind. First, I know it's kind of like worth maybe not saying, but it's easy to get carried away when you're stressed out. Be patient with those airline agents. Remember, they're helping hundreds of frustrated passengers. And like I said, easy to get caught up in the moment. Number 2, check your travel insurance, especially the fine print there. Not all policies cover disruptions from worker shortages in particular. And 3, use international support or frequent flyer perks for faster service. If you need guidance, try your airline's international support for shorter wait times, or if you're flying with someone who has elite status, maybe think about using their frequent flyer number when you call.
All right, here's another travel headline for you this morning. People now have to identify themselves by the sex assigned at their birth on U.S. passports. It's something the Trump administration had pushed for, and the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of that requirement. During the Biden administration, people could identify themselves simply as X, as opposed to choosing either male or female. But the Supreme Court said having travelers identify themselves by their biological sex is, quote, merely attesting to a historical fact.
A federal judge dismissed a criminal case against Boeing Thursday over 2 crashes of its 737 MAX plane. The judge approved the Department of Justice request to dismiss its case against Boeing. It's part of a deal that requires Boeing to pay or invest an additional $1.1 billion in fines and compensations for crash victims' families, internal safety, and quality measures. 346 people were killed in 2 crashes in 2018 and 2019. In early September, relatives of some of the victims urged the judge to reject the deal and instead appoint a special prosecutor to take over the case. Boeing reached settlements in 3 lawsuits yesterday filed by families of victims of the second crash. Cities along the Washington coast have battled rising waters and costly floods for years. A proposed levee project could help the issue, but the plan is now in limbo as the federal government holds onto a majority of the funding. In 2022, FEMA awarded around $90 million in grant money to fund 2 new levees to create around 11 miles of flood walls in the cities of Hoquiam and Aberdeen, protecting more than 5,000 properties. But earlier this year, the Trump administration put that grant on pause for a review.
We're very hopeful that we'll get that funding back. The state of Washington filed a lawsuit on our behalf, so that might help with that too, and we're thankful for that.
They will start part of the project with current state funding in hopes that the feds provide the money needed to complete it. Bidding for one of the levees will begin early next year.
I'm super excited for just more bookstores opening up and more opportunities for people to get into reading.
A boom on books. The American Booksellers Association reports a 70% jump in independent bookstores nationwide since the pandemic. We'll take a look at what's responsible for the reading resurgence right after this.
Hey, our team tests products every day. We get rid of the rejects. We only bring you the best. This is the Zoom broom. It's kind of half broom, half leaf blower. Brand new leaf blower technology. Look how lightweight this is. Only 2 pounds. And when you compare it, this is the leaf blower I have normally. Look how big this thing is, and it's much heavier and bulkier. It has batteries like that. This one, you just charge with a USB-C, done, and it's cordless. Look at the commercial on this. It's actually really satisfying, looks really easy, blowing everything away. We want to see if it actually works, so here we go. I'm gonna blow away some leaves here. Look, wow, it works just like the commercial, just like that. Blow the leaves wherever you want them. I have some dirt over here as well, blowing the dirt. Now, by the way, this is really cool on this. Come on in for a second. You can also turn it to high turbo mode, like that. If you have some really stubborn stuff, look at that. Look at it getting right off the driveway. This is really cool. Very satisfying. Got some mulch, I have some wood chips over here. And of course, the traditional old grass clippings like this as well. The great thing about the Zoom broom I was reading, this goes for 30 minutes straight without another charge. And if you're doing this for more than 30 minutes, you're probably doing it wrong. We have a deal on this for you today. You know, I always try to save you money. It's normally $219. Today for you, only $149, 32% off. Scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
It appears that the story is not over for bookstores in the Pacific Northwest.
Apparently, more people are heading back to the shelves and new shops are popping up to serve their needs. Brady Wakayama shows us what's driving this surprising new chapter in the book scene.
It's a thing the communities are wanting, more like tight-knit, you know, going to a small bookstore.
This is a love story that has bookworms infatuated.
That's kind of what people want to see, is like, you start from the bottom and you get here.
After years of bookstore closures and digital dominance, real books are back. Readers are rediscovering the joy of print, and stores like McKenna Martin's Love Struck in Seattle.
Yeah, we have our like fall reads kind of here.
Here to fill their passion. The American Booksellers Association reports a 70% jump in independent bookstores nationwide since 2020, rising from about 1,900 to more than 3,200 in 2023.
Come with me for a day in the life as a romance bookstore owner in Seattle.
Martin says the boom began during the pandemic, when more people reopened their love for reading, then exploded thanks to social media.
Actually, I only got into reading during COVID, during the explosion of Book Talk and BookTube and Bookstagram. That's when, I was seeing all these influencers post about these books, and it's like, I haven't read since high school.
That community continues to grow. New Barnes & Noble is opening in downtown Seattle within the next year.
Regardless of whether it's indie or mainstream, I'm super excited for just more bookstores opening up and more opportunities for people to get into reading.
Martin says she's happy to see another bookstore opening, but encourages people to continue supporting indie bookstores.
We all have different vibes. My store is very different from another store, and we're all trying to bring different things into, our communities. So I don't really feel competitive about it. I think it's really exciting that, we're all trying to make people find their reads and find community.
And if you wanted to go to Portland Book Festival this week and you don't already have your ticket, you're probably out of luck. For the first time ever, the annual festival in downtown Portland is sold out. Literary Arts, the nonprofit that puts on the festival, says everything including regular tickets and special author events have been claimed. Sorry.
All right, our Chinook, or I was about to say Chinook Winds. No, our Chehalem tasting room in Sherwood this morning, giving us this beautiful spot. I believe if you look up to the middle of your screen, a little bit to the right, what we're seeing there is a brief look at heaven. I believe that's heaven cracking through the skies there, Rod. Can you confirm or deny?
That was somebody shining a flashlight, but you could be correct.
Yeah, we're not sure. We'll look into that. What we do know for sure is that after days of waiting, we are going to get some dryness this weekend.
I mean, it's been a month. 4 weekends in a row. I mean, those weekends didn't have rain both days, but at least one of the days was pretty much a total washout. So hope you can enjoy this weekend. We are dealing with a moisture break, and that means this system will not march inland. It will get held out to sea as high pressure ridging takes hold. We have lingering scattered showers, lingering on the back end of what we've had the last couple of days. Lingering showers out there right now. There are heavy rain pockets around, so this is not frivolous rain. I mean, there are some pockets where it's really coming down. There's a heavy downpour just north of Troutdale, and that's pushing into Skamania County. Some pretty good rain down in this cluster between Newburgh, Carlton, McMinnville, and Dayton right now as well. Futurecast, now we do know this because it's 8:45. I just showed you live radar. Here's Futurecast 15 minutes from now. It's clearly underplaying the number of showers that are out there. We will see scattered showers into the afternoon, and I still feel like, while it's not an absolute guarantee, it's likely that the rain showers are over by evening, and maybe even by 5 o'clock this afternoon. So I would feel pretty good if you have evening plans to be out and about meeting some friends on this Friday. Should have some decent, quiet weather. Winds are gone. They're just light from the southwest to no more than about 10 miles per hour. Here's Futurecast for a dry weekend. Not perfectly clear, but kind of partly sunny tomorrow, and then maybe some mid to high level clouds on Sunday. But I still think Sunday is a good chance, and Matt's been talking about this too, to be just sunny. So we'll see. East winds are the one element that we'll be tracking, developing overnight tonight and no later than tomorrow afternoon, if not sooner, gusting to 30 out near the gorge, and those winds will continue to blow into the day Sunday. But like where I live, I get blocked from the east wind. So I'm just going to have light winds at my place all weekend. So it kind of depends on where you are. This is about 2 inches of new snow that has fallen up at Timberline, 29 degrees. The snow level last night with the showery weather got down to about 4,500 feet. Santiam Pass has some snow roadside, but all the mountain pass highways are just wet and in good shape this morning with above freezing temperatures. A fairly sunny camera, partly cloudy out in Wasco County. The Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles, 50 degrees is the number. West winds at 7. Oregon Zoo definitely getting ready for zoo lights. There it is up in the West Hills. It's going to be a decent day. Again, scattered showers are around and will be around into the afternoon as you look at current temperatures. 43 over in Bend. Coast forecast, like the valley, mid to upper 50s, southwest winds 5 to 15, decreasing scattered showers, generally ending by the evening hours. And here comes that dry weekend for your 7-day. And it's going to be comfortable. 60, considered warm for this time of the year, and 63 Sunday, really nice as well. Next shower chance holds off until Monday afternoon, but I don't see any of this amounting to much. In fact, I think Matt had some of these days as dry. But Thursday is our next chance of a weather system coming in where it will be quite wet. All right, it is birthday time. All right, we have a big Friday birthday party. Starts with Otto in St. Helens, 7 today. Happy birthday to you. Blair is 8 years old today. Wishing you a very happy birthday. James is now a teenager, and Director Brian Matthews tells me that's a trout. Happy birthday to you. Teenager, Wyatt, 14 in Canby. Baseball player, looks like. I got the bat back there. Here's Alexis, who's 25 today. Happy birthday. And Josephine, celebrating 62 years old today. Happy birthday to you. Wendy is 64 out in Powell Butte. And one more, Don, 70. And our director, Brian Matthews, who likes to fish, tells me that's a steelhead. Happy birthday to you, sir. Hope you have a great day. Birthdays at KGW.com. And we will celebrate with you. Here he is, Mr. Drew Carney.
Well, we're just going to keep the celebration going, Rod. We got to celebrate the great toy drive as we take a live look this morning inside the toy box. Yes, we have toys, but we want more toys, and you can help us out. One of the easiest ways is by going online to kgw.com/toy. That's where you can make a cash donation and let us do the toy shopping for you. You can also, though, do it the old-fashioned way. You can drop off new unwrapped toys at any IQ credit union, any Fred Meyer store, or any local Toyota dealership.
And the countdown to Christmas has started, just 48 days away, and nothing says holidays like the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree.
Who started the countdown? Who did this? I'm not ready to start counting
I
down.
can't do math, so it wasn't me for sure.
Okay. Now, the tree that you just mentioned is scheduled to arrive in New York City this weekend. It'll be decorated with 5 miles worth of multicolor LED lights. Maria LaRosa has more on the tree's original home.
Months of preparation led to this moment. With a chainsaw buzz and the separation, the 2025 Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lifted off its base and carefully lowered onto a flatbed truck, ready for the 147-mile trek to Rockefeller Center. Preparations began months ago when homeowner Judy Russ submitted a photo of her tree for consideration, the tree being a centerpiece of their yard for over 60 years.
Because I knew the tree was special, but I never thought this would happen.
Feeling has a lot to do with it, and then when you drive by a tree and you see it, you almost immediately know that, yeah, that could be at Rockefeller Center one day.
He and his team have been watching and caring for this 75-foot, 11-ton Norway spruce ever since, all anticipating today when they happily said goodbye.
There aren't words for how excited we are. As someone who grew up going to the tree every year.
Her neighbors agree.
What brings you here today?
The Christmas tree.
What makes it good? What's special?
That it's on Christmas tree.
We homeschool our kids, so we figured that we'd make this part of a field trip.
Oh, I think it's very exciting. It makes a memory. It's close to home.
To witness history. You know, it's really exciting to be here.
Some drove over an hour to see the tree cut.
It's exciting. We're going to try to make it a tradition.
Visiting the tree in Rockefeller Center has been a tradition for the Russ family.
Our family's tree gets to be the spotlight for everyone's now family memories. It's so important to us. It's so special. We're so happy.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Quick recap of some of this morning's top local stories. Flight cancellations have started around the country. Portland's is one of 40 major airports in the U.S. where airlines are required by the FAA to cut back on flights. So those cuts are going to start with a 4% reduction in flights today, moving up to 10% within a week. International flights, though, are not impacted by this. A federal judge ordered the Trump administration to pay out November SNAP benefits in full. Now, we've already heard from some KGW viewers who said their SNAP cards were reloaded, and posts online indicate recent payments include the full benefit. Oregon Supreme Court has taken up the voter-approved gun control law, Measure 114. That law requires training for a permit to buy guns. It also gets rid of a loophole that allows dealers to skip waiting for background checks if they take longer than 3 days, and it restricts high-capacity magazines to no more than 10 rounds. Now, the court, again, the Oregon Supreme Court, will have to decide if this measure is constitutional or not. We don't know how long that ruling will take.
Well, we have scattered showers out there, and a reminder, mixed with sun breaks, we have some downpours out there too, kind of mixed around. All of that should be gone by evening. So we have a dry Friday night, a dry Saturday, and a dry Sunday. It's been a month since we have had a completely dry weekend. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right, here's a look back at some of our favorite moments from the week.
By the way, I know it's early. I tripped. I was so excited, Drew, to share with you.
Well, so you definitely don't like the double stuff. You're out on double stuff.
Yeah.
Well, those are my favorite.
I'm already double stuffed. I don't need more double stuffing. I'll take my double stuff with me wherever I go.
All right, I have a question for you two. You can tell me everything I need to know about you boys. Thanksgiving dinner, do you like the fresh-made cranberry sauce, or do you like the one that comes out of...
That was a good sound effect, though. Do it again.
Look to the right real quick, and then look to the left, and then tell me if you think it's fair that he's the sexiest man to work with.
It had to at least be a debate, right?
It was so close.
Wait a minute. We're not really giving you our best. Rod, give her your best.
God. Go away.
Could you do me a favor? Could you do that sound effect again where you empty out? That's the cranberry sauce coming out of the can.
That is exactly how it
And
sounds.
I have been told that I can't bring that to somebody's Thanksgiving if I know that they're going to make normal cranberry sauce.
You know what else you do? She does a good sound effect of ripping paper. Like you take the paper and you turn around and make it, you think someone's going to rip. No, I don't have any paper. Just do the sound effect anyway. Yes, she's very good with the sound effect. So, for double stuffed Rod Hill and sound effect queen China Green, I'm Drew Carney. We're signing off for the week.
We are, yes.
Yeah, we should probably go home.
Good night.
We should probably rest our brains, recharge for another full week of Sunrise next week. In the meantime, we hope you have a great weekend. We will see you back here for another live local newscast. I won't be on it. Rod, you going to be on the news at noon?
I am here at noon, yes.
Oh, yeah. China, you here?
That's me.
China and Rod Hill bringing you
What?
the news at noon. Stay tuned for that in just 3 hours. No rest for you guys yet.